Hello, everybody. Let us do a quick collective check-in. My YouTubes are becoming more and more sparse, and that might be a good thing in some ways, business-wise, but I also do love doing this, so I miss my collective, and I'm happy to be back whenever I can be. Thank you so much to everybody who has stuck with me so far. Today I'll be using the Essential Tarot. If I feel like I need more decks, I will go and grab them. But for today, I think this should be it. So let's get a quick look here. We have the Page of Wands and some flying cards I will try to get a hold of. And the Page of Cups in reverse. Okay. So two pages coming out at the same time with the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So immediately the energy I get from this with the Page of Wands is there's a spark, there's an inspiration, there's this fiery desire to move forward with something that maybe has been brewing in your mind, or perhaps the mind of a divine masculine for so long. But with the Page of Cups in reverse, it's almost like there's a battle between the emotional side and the inspired intellectual side that wants to make these moves. With the Ace of Pentacles, there is a brand new tangible beginning that is just waiting to take root in the 3D. It's just waiting to come through. And whatever this new beginning is will allow you to really move past anything from your past that had been holding you back, or maybe that you felt stuck in for so long. With the Emperor at the bottom of the deck, this really does feel like promising energy here. What this feels like is a transformational period, because anytime there is a new beginning, there has to be an ending somewhere, right? And endings are often what can feel the most chaotic, the most tumultuous, sometimes even the most painful, just depending on what it is that is ending and what emotional impact it's going to have as a result on not just you, but anybody else that might be involved in that situation. So it completely makes sense that there would be a disconnect here, right, between the head and the heart space. The head space knows what it needs to do. The emotional center is kind of resisting it because of unpleasant feelings, having to sit with maybe what you don't want to sit with, and having to make big changes, maybe radical changes in certain areas of your life, maybe multiple areas, maybe one, take it how it resonates. But whatever it is, with the Emperor, I do see that this is going to be some long-lasting change. I do see that it's going to actually put you in a position of power over your own life, over the situation, over whatever it is that you are dealing with. I did a similar post on my Instagram this morning, if you follow me there. If you don't, I highly encourage that you do for daily messages. And also that's where you can purchase personal paid services from me. You know, where if we have a wounding of some sort, of any sort, deep within ourselves, sometimes we have to release it multiple times, right? We thought we released it once, and then we were doing okay, we were doing great, and then something happened where we got re-triggered, and then you're like, gosh, I thought I was over this phase, I thought I was over this cycle. But what that's indicating is that sometimes you just have to release it multiple times, because it had probably impacted you for either years of your life, formative years of your life, or it impacted you so deeply in a way that one time is just not enough. And healing is never linear, you guys. Sometimes you're okay, and then other days you're not. Think about it like grieving somebody who passed away, right? It doesn't end when the funeral ends. And it doesn't mean that every time an anniversary comes up, you're not going to feel something just because it's been a certain amount of years. Anything that has an emotional tie or an emotional association is going to come back up for you anytime that certain memories are triggered. That's just how it works. That's how learning works, right? We learn things and retain it when we're able to create an emotional tie or association to that thing. When we're able to either feel a sensation in our body associated with a word or a color or a thing or an experience. And that's what helps us retain it. If we don't have an emotional tie to it, it's kind of, it's there as a memory for some time and then it kind of floats away. Think about all of the things that we do, that we experience, that we hear, that we say on a day-to-day basis. Do we remember every single one of those things? No, our brains will explode, right? We remember the things that had some sort of emotional significance or emotional impact. This is reiterated here with the Five of Cups in reverse. The Five of Cups is a card of the storm has already passed, but now you're just learning how to deal with the after effects, right? And with the Five of Cups in reverse, it's kind of like, and because cups are associated with emotions, it's not wanting to deal with those unpleasant feelings that come up when you are processing through whatever it is that you happen to be processing through at that time, because it feels uncomfortable, because we're not used to sitting with uncomfortable feelings, because we don't desire to feel that discomfort within our minds, within our ego selves, within our bodies, whatever the case may be. And I'm dropping my cards here. But the Five of Cups in reverse is definitely coming out with a strong resistance energy to it. And this is understandable. What I want to reiterate is it's so important to be kind to yourself about these things, right? Don't beat yourself up over something that came up for you again or that you thought you were over. Queen of Swords. I really see here inner strength rising and kind of cutting through the BS. This is what this energy is all about. And this is being mirrored between both counterparts on this twin flame journey at this time. Divine masculines are doing this very thing by taking accountability for what they did that got them where they are, by actually facing the fact that, yeah, I regret that, I led someone on to believe something when I didn't feel that way about them, that I clung on to a karmic situation just because I needed that security, or just because of a selfish reason. And there are a lot of masculines in the collective at this time that are feeling guilty for making a karmic party believe that they were wanted, or that there was still any kind of interest there when there truly wasn't. And the masculine is realizing how shady they had been in that, and they are having to sit with that guilt. They realize that they want to make that change. The guilt doesn't change the fact that they want to move on from that. They still realize that this is not something that's healthy, and it's not something that can ever work in a healthy way. But what they are also realizing is, gosh, I kept myself stuck because of my own deceptive energy, right? Because I could not face what I needed to face at the time, confirmed by the Devil card at the bottom of the deck, right? And this so heavily mirrors the Lovers in this deck too. The Lovers in this deck actually looks almost identical to this card. If it comes out, I'll show you guys. But the Devil in this case is like a mirror of your shadow self, of their shadow self, holding itself up and saying, this is why you are where you are. And it's not healthy to always look for ways to place blame. we take our own accountability. Sure, there was manipulation, there was greed, there was a power struggle, there were financial hardships, there was, you know, like past trauma, past wounding that contributed to this. There's a lot of reasons, right? But learning to take accountability for the choices that we make, the things that we say, what we make people believe as adults is so, so, so critical. This is a big part of shadow work, right? The things that we judge other people for, how are we propagating the same? So we had the Four of Cups come out here, as well as the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is all about what you've been trying to manifest that's coming in, and the Four of Cups is what you wound up manifesting because of the choices that you made. And divine masculines especially are really kind of being called out by spirit. They're being called out by the universe and saying, hey, you have been giving all these mixed signals, not just to the people in your life, but also to the universe, right? You're saying you want divine feminine, you're saying you want out of this karmic situation. And every time we open a door or a portal to that, right here, every time a door or portal to that is opened, you actually wound up making opposite choices. You wound up making choices that actually led you away from where it was that you were trying to go. And that's why these Three Cups over here are upset. They are upside down. They are spilled over. And yes, you do still have a light at the end of the tunnel, this chalice upright that's up here, that spirit is going to hand to them. And that will be done in a divinely orchestrated way to where they can't mess it up, essentially, right? But the thing is, in order for that to be effective the way that the divine intends, the masculines have to face this truth first. They have to face this truth first. And divine feminines are being encouraged to take a look inward, right? Turn the gaze within, just like we saw with this Queen of Swords here. She's got her eyes closed, her hands near her heart space, and she's kind of tuned in to her own inner higher self and saying, okay, I have been waiting for my masculine to come back and make these certain moves for however long, but I'm realizing that I have so much resentment. And when the reality of what he was actually doing in the past is hitting, right? Those are unprocessed emotions that were suppressed for the sake of allowing the divine feminines to survive this tumultuous period, in order for them to be able to get through day-to-day life with the pain, with, you know, channeling their masculine's energy and trying to deal with their own, not being able to differentiate between the two. It's almost like spirit reveals slowly what we are able to handle in that moment and unpack and deal with. So divine feminines are unpacking a lot at this time as well. And what I actually see happening is that for divine feminines, there might be some new karmic people. This does not have to be romantic at all. It could be friendships, it could be work related, it could be platonic, it could be your neighbor, it could be anything, right? But there's new karmic connections that have, you know, the karma is from past lives. But these karmic people are coming in to reflect back something that they had been missing within themselves, that is being brought to their attention for them to process and work through to prepare them for this reunion. This is what I'm seeing here. So don't be afraid of these new people coming in. We have the Nine of Wands. They're going to rub you the wrong way. They're probably going to rub you the wrong way, make you angry. You're going to feel like, oh my God, 10 of Wands. Like, why do these people always wind up on my back, right? Like, how do I keep coming across people like this? We have the Nine of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Like, you're just going to want to cut through those connections and be ruthless with these people and just be like, I have so much going on. Like, you know, I'm over here in the Chariot mode trying to take charge of my life and, you know, unify the loose ends, pick up the pieces, and just get past what I need to get past, because I am so ready to start a new chapter in my life. Like, I am so ready to just move away from the chaos. But the reason why these people are coming in to kind of push your buttons is exactly that. Look at what's coming up for you. Your masculine will be doing the same. Your masculine will absolutely be doing the same. And this is what's going to help you kind of get a grip on how you're going to handle this reconnection when it happens. Because a lot of what happens after this reconnection will be determined by how you handle the reconnection in the initial phases. Are you ready to sit and listen to your masculine as they explain all of the heartbreak that they've been through with this karmic person that they turned their back on you for? Or is that going to make you want to kill them? You know, I mean, it's something to think about, right? Because, and it's valid. If it makes you want to kill them, then you know that that's not a conversation that you're ready to have with them, and that is okay. That is absolutely okay. If somebody has given you enough red flags, don't try to paint them green, as I heard somebody else say yesterday, which was just such a beautiful way of putting it. Like, if somebody shows you a red flag, don't be over here trying to paint it green, right? Divine masculines have plenty of red flags, regardless of the fact that they are, you know, your twin flame counterpart. There's a lot that they need to heal. There's a lot that we heal right alongside with them as divine feminines, and that is a-okay. With judgment, immediately I'm hearing discernment. Use your discernment with how you feel about this reconnection. Avoid being in that headspace of, I just want this so bad. I've been wanting this for so long that, you know, it's something that I just want it to happen. Don't sacrifice being your true self. Don't sacrifice being true to yourself for this connection, because if that is how you're going to go about it, it's never going to last. It's not going to be healthy for you or for any one of you, in all honesty, right? We have the Two of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, and this is talking about balance. This is about, you know, those tumultuous seas that a ship is on, and you either go under or you maneuver correctly and you get yourself through the storm, hoping that, you know, it doesn't knock you over in the process. That is kind of like the emotional tidal wave that often happens when twin flames reconnect, especially after a long period of separation, especially when there has been third-party karmic romantic interference. Because if you think about it in terms of any kind of romantic relationship, right? Infidelity is something that is extremely difficult to forgive. It's something that's extremely difficult to forget. Every time you even get close to getting intimate with this person, it's something that kind of gnaws at the back of your head, like you were with somebody else after you found me. Whatever happened before this connection, you kind of, well, I didn't even know you back then, right? Like, everybody has a past that you kind of work through, and you try not to think about it too much. But when it comes to the way that most twin flame connections play out, it's like a trauma that you really have to be ready to release and heal from, because it's giving your body to somebody that you almost feel like cheated on you sometimes. And or perhaps it is a full-blown feeling of that. Take it how it resonates. But the biggest message that it feels like Spirit wants to come through with today is respect those feelings within yourself. Don't try to force yourself to accept what you cannot accept at this time. That doesn't mean that that won't change in the future. That doesn't mean that it will change in the future. It just depends on you. It depends on how much you can and are willing to forgive and tolerate and put a bow on and just put it away type of deal, right? And that's not an easy thing to do. That is absolutely not an easy thing to do. And you might have experiences where when you reconnect, everything goes great and you think like, okay, yeah, I think we can work past this. And then a while later, it starts to come back up for you. That probably means that there were some suppressed things that you weren't ready to address back then, or that you didn't have realizations about back then, that you are now starting to process and work through, that is coming up to the conscious level from being in the subconscious mind. Honor yourself, honor your process, and it doesn't matter if it's your twin flame, if it's your soulmate, if it's whoever, if it's whatever. Don't cause yourself any more trauma than what you've already been through, just for the sake of something that you feel like you want, but that may not be healthy for you. And do it in your own timing. Respect the timing of your own healing process. And I think that is the most important message of this video. I might be dropping another one later today, we'll see. But I hope that this helps. Let me know what resonated in the comments. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok if you're not there already. And I hope to see you guys on my other platforms. Also, I have a Patreon now. You can find links to my Patreon in the bio on my Instagram if you would like to join and support. So much love to you guys. Bye.